Thank you. What I'm going to talk about today is going to be a little insinuation for your mental faculties to rethink how they are running their businesses. For that, I would like you to have a look at this picture. The candle problem. I bring you into a room, give you a candle, a matchstick, and a container with thumbtacks. Now your job is to light this candle, stick it to the wall, and illuminate the room. How would you go about it? Would you try sticking the candle with the help of thumbtacks? Or would you try melting the side of the candle and adhere it to the wall with the help of wax? Classic, brilliant solutions, but don't work. Now let me show you the solution, and you can check for yourselves if you thought about it. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shivali Sharma, and I would be talking about self-talk and why it matters. What I just showed you was an experiment designed by famous psychologist Carl Dunker, who used it for experiments in behavioral science. The conclusion of this experiment established the concept of functional fixedness or cognitive dissonance. In simple words, it means our brains are wired to think in a certain way, and this traditional way might prevent us from thinking in some other way. Like in this problem, this box was introduced as a carrier of thumbtacks, and you could not see it coming as supports for candle. This happens in real life as well. And that sets the context for the topic in hand, which is self-talk. Because a big contributor to our thinking is self-talk, besides the image, the words that we hear from others and from our external environment. It's so funny. We spend time, money, and energy learning and fearing public speaking skills, communication skills, and yet we are never paid attention to what goes in here, to the most important conversation, self-conversation, self-positive talk that we must be doing every day in our life. Well, have you found yourselves doing any of these things? Black and white thinking. I can do everything. Oh no, I can do nothing. Catastrophizing. Everything is bad. Economy is collapsing. World is a horrible place to be in. Probability overestimation. Something bad is definitely going to happen because it's been going good for a while. Or the most common one, never feeling good enough. All these things have to do with nothing but the self-talk. To illustrate further the impact of self-talk in our life, I would like to give you a few examples. I assume you have heard about the established placebo effect. A sugar pill given to a patient treats him equally well as real medicine because the patient thinks it's going to heal him. The concept is self-belief. And how do you think self-belief is formed? By a small conversation. Doctor is giving me this medicine. I'm going to heal. On a lighter note, I even think that Instagram and Snapchat filters are trying to make money out of our self-image issues. Can you see? The mirror says, you look cute today, but the front camera says, oh no. And then the Instagram filters say, I got you. Yes. So the point is, that's the importance of self-talk we have. And if we have a positive self-talk, it leads to positive self-esteem and the confidence, and hence a successful business. Now, an interesting observation from the medicinal sciences. We as human beings have tendency to perform experiments on rats, donkeys, cats, monkeys, and then use those findings to use for human race. If we can do so in medicine, let's try to do this with our lesson. So I'm going to tell you an animal story. Once upon a time, a man was passing by a herd of elephants. He saw that these huge creatures were tied by a tiny rope to their feet. Confused by what he saw, He went to the trainer and asked him that this rope is too small for these elephants. Why don't they break away? The trainer said, this is because when they were very small, this rope was strong enough to hold them back. They tried to break free, and they couldn't. After that, they became conditioned, and they don't even try to break free. That's why they are stuck right where they are. In short, the elephant was held back, not by the rope, but by its belief system. Elephants have belief system. Can you believe that? So like I said, we have tendency to generalize the findings from animals on humans. Can you think of your rope-like belief system, which is holding you back, a limiting belief that is trying to talk you out every time you try to work against it, to the point you accept, this is who I am. It's never going to work for me. To explain this scientifically, I would introduce you to the concept of paradigms. Paradigms are a set of beliefs, models about anything. They are built from our experiences and perceptions of a world. For example, a paradigm about our image of our physical body, how we look like, would be one set of paradigm. So when we are growing up, the input or the feedback from our friends, teachers, school, whosoever surrounds us, that keeps getting fed into our subconscious mind. It keeps getting stored over there till it becomes deeply embedded and part of us. For example, you say to yourselves, I'm not good enough. Well, that's not good. Our subconscious mind is registering it each time till it becomes a part of us, and we do things that are habits. That's how we say we have an opinion about something. And we do things which we are not doing it with a conscious effort. The interesting part is the subconscious mind rejects anything which is contrary to the deeply embedded belief already in there. Returning to our example of body image, if a person has a body image as being fat, then even after trying pills, workouts, diets, after getting initial temporary results, they get back to their original weight because their body got lean, but their self-image wasn't. Which means how to get about it, how to break it. The only way out of it is to do the next new habit which you want to form consciously over and over again till it becomes a long-term memory or a deeply embedded system for the subconscious mind. The worst manifestations of this kind of negative self-belief system is anorexia. It's an emotional disorder where a person has an obsessive desire of losing weight while refusing to eat. And can you believe? The only cure for it, other than nutrition, is therapy, which tries to change their self-talk and hence self-image. Well, actually, that's a relieving point, that self-talk can be tamed, provided you have the willingness and patience to do so. As I mentioned, we have to repeat the new habits over and over again till they become deeply embedded in our subconscious system. That's when they talk about affirmations, positive self-talk, law of attraction. That's nothing but playing with our subconscious mind. Well, these were facts, fiction, science, and psychology. I think now is the time for fantasy. So I'm going to tell you a story about a handicapped boy. A boy who wanted to learn judo, but he did not have his left arm. He still wanted to learn it so desperately that he went to a judo master. The master taught him only one move. After months of practice of that move, he put him in a competition with a very tough opponent. Now this boy, who was handicapped, did not have his left arm, still went into the competition and fought. To everyone's surprise, he won it. Why do you think he won the competition? Maybe because what master taught him was one of the toughest moves in judo, and he practiced it over months to perfection. But do you know what the real reason was? The real reason was when master saw that boy who was handicapped and did not have his left arm, He taught him one of those moves of judo in which the opponent's only defense is to grab the boy's left arm. The master figures out a way to use boy's handicap as his strength. So can we, provided we are able to convince that person we see every day in the mirror. Like Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or you cannot, you are right either ways. That's self-talk and why it matters. Thank you.